Now, Gardaí in Cork are taking measures to monitor and prepare for a planned anti-lockdown rally in Cork city centre tomorrow afternoon. Diarmuid is the Secretary of the People's Convention and official spokesperson for the event. Diarmuid, can you confirm, is the event going ahead tomorrow?
It is, Shane, yes, at 2 o'clock on Patrick Street.
What exactly are you protesting against?
It's not a protest as such, it's a public assembly, and it's a rally demanding that the government should clarify to us why are they having continued lockdown 12 months later when the WHO, the health organisation, has said that it is only justified in the short term in order for governments to allow themselves to get into mode of dealing with the virus, which is going around. We're not virus deniers. And we're also wanting the government to answer, why has Ireland the longest lockdown of any country in Europe, 5 times longer than Germany, and with half a dozen countries in Europe having no lockdown at all and are faring just as well as Ireland is, or as badly as the case might be?
When you read reports in the paper today about 400 people, 220 households, a cluster of COVID from 1 or 2 events in the west of the country, does that, as an organiser of whether you call it a protest or a public assembly, does that not make you worried that this could be a super spreader event, that people going to this event could get COVID, could get sick and could die?
I don't recommend irresponsible behaviour, but I think in this instance the government is being grossly irresponsible. There are over 900,000 people extra on hospital waiting lists, waiting for procedures which they need.
Yeah.
They're not going to hospitals for entertainment.
The question is about your responsibility, though. The question is about your responsibility, Diarmuid.
Our responsibility is for the greater public health, and that's what we want, is a public health service which addresses all the illnesses in Ireland.
Will everyone at your protest be wearing a mask?
Cardiac care, cancer care, which kills 170 people every week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All points that have been made on this programme many times. Will everyone at your protest be wearing a mask?
I doubt it very much. If you go on the street any day of the week, you'll see everybody is not wearing a mask. But at the outset of this public assembly, we will be advising people to exercise care in regards to public health. We're not.
With respect, Diarmuid, how do you exercise care? How do you exercise care at a public assembly? People are assembling. I accept it's outdoors, but people are coming together. We saw what happened on Grafton Street. We'll get to the violence of that in a second. But we saw even before that, people pretty much on top of each other. There's no way that people can exercise care in that environment.
Well, we will be asking people, and we're mature adults, and people I expect will follow some guidelines and respect those around them and respect the public whose homes they're going to return to and so on afterwards. So the thing is, we're a year down the road and there is no progress being made by following this policy, and there are mountains of other problems, health and mental health welfare wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
That are mounting up that are not being addressed.
Are you concerned after what happened last weekend, and indeed what has happened at other protests or public assemblies? Are you concerned that there's a real risk of violence at this event tomorrow?
No, the risk is infinitesimally small.
How can you say that after what happened in Grafton Street last Saturday?
Well, I'm very happy that the idiot who conducted that attack on the Gardaí, I believe...
Yeah, no, hang on. We're not getting into any cases now that are before the court, so let's not go there. Let's just talk in the general sense about the violence at Grafton Street.
Thankfully, the Gardaí seem to be on top of that incident, and I wish them well in it. And
well, sorry, no one was on top of any incident, and the guards did a good job. But there was serious violence, and very dangerous events took place last weekend. And
what I'm saying is the Gardaí seem to be dealing with that nicely, and I'm happy that they're doing so, and I wish them well in doing that. And I hope that they have full success in finding the root cause of it. And we are collaborating with Gardaí here in Cork as well.
Okay.
And we have people who are experienced in organising public assembly, and we will be vigilant. This is a peaceful, family-friendly event on Saturday in Cork at 2 o'clock.
Final question to you. We have a text in from a councillor, Damien Boylan in Cork. I don't know if you know Councillor Boylan, but he asks, will you take responsibility for whatever occurs tomorrow? Well,
Mr. Boylan is obviously a public representative. I don't really know him. But will he take responsibility for the official neglect which is taking place on health services at the minute?
Okay,
If he takes
that's
that
your response to him, but what's your response to his specific point?
My specific point is that, for example, I know somebody in the organising group who has 2 forms of cancer, has their treatment cancelled and their next appointment is over.
You're not answering the question though. Will you take responsibility for whatever occurs tomorrow?
When Councillor Boylan takes responsibility for his public duty, then we'll look at that question again.
Okay, we will leave it there. Diarmuid Ó Cadhla, Secretary of the People's Convention and official spokesperson for the event. Thank you for talking to Newstalk Breakfast this morning.